check, check, check. Check, check. All right. Let's get this thing started. You know, I was going to film a whole bit with how I set up my lights and my camera and my green screen, and then I was just like, about the third time the tripod fell over with the camera and everything attached to it, I decided I was done with trying to do that. In the modern era of streaming services, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. One good point is that if you miss something when it first hits, you have plenty of time to discover it later. And looking for relaxing weekend viewing is how I wound up binging all 3 current seasons of HBO Max. Why is my text scrolling so fast? One day everything will just work right and I'll die of shock. And looking for relaxing weekend viewing is how I wound up binging all 3 current seasons of HBO Max's Selena and Chef. It's a friendly little series in which former Disney star and pop music idol Selena Gomez tries to learn cooking by video conferencing with professional chefs. Hell yes, this was produced in mid-shutdown. While Gomez quarantined with her grandparents and a couple of friends, she busied herself setting up cameras around the kitchen that could be controlled by a remote producer. And the results went up on HBO Max, where they got popular enough that, like I said, you can currently find 3 seasons. Cooking shows for me are usually a great mode of ambient TV. I'm a longtime fan of Alton Brown's Good Eats, but for the most part, they're fun shows to have in the background, where you can pay attention to them a little bit, wander off to do something else, and then come back and pay attention some more. But the more time I spent with Selena and Chef, the more I came to realize that there was something else at play, something fascinating, something that I've seen before, but that became a lot more common when people started staying home trying to avoid getting sick. Selena and Chef isn't just a cooking show. It's a show that revels in the joy of not knowing.
It has a rim, but I don't know why it has to be so extra in particular. Like anything will do. If you have foil paper at home and you gotta just double up the foil paper, that's fine too. Whatever you have. What happened?
I was in awe of you, so I just looked like an idiot.
There are entire genres of television that exist largely to show off expertise. Arguably, almost all of sports and sports entertainment broadcasting is all about watching people who have practiced and trained and honed their physical skills to be the best, showing us just how good they really are. But beyond competitive sports, there's also cooking shows, where we tune in to see experts who have spent their lives learning the best way to make an omelet. There's home renovation shows, where experts walk you through every nuance of working with drywall. Even Bob Ross, the saint of the aspiring artist, was showing his expertise as much as he was encouraging people tuning in to just have a little fun with a paintbrush. It's been argued that this much hyper-competency on a subject can actually discourage audiences from trying their hand, as it becomes easier and maybe even more satisfying to simply sit and watch experts work. Why take a crack at remodeling an early 20th century house when you can tune in to a weekend marathon on HGTV and see teams of specialists cranking out renovation after renovation? Audiences tell themselves that they're learning about the subject, but in reality, they're getting a dopamine fix just from watching experts do their thing. There's a reason why the Food Network's biggest sponsors tend to be frozen food companies and labor-saving kitchen gadgets, even as Alton Brown tells audiences that the only unitasking device they need in their kitchen is a fire extinguisher.
Fire inside the oven. What do we do?
Oh, I have to take it out.
We gotta get it out.
Yeah, turn off the oven.
All right, just open
Okay,
it.
the oven's off, right?
Get it out! We have 2 more.
You guys!
Something magical happens, however, when you leave the realm of expertise and enter the realm of the novice. First of all, it becomes engaging to watch someone deal with a topic they don't know that well, and to see them grow and learn. Now, I don't know exactly how much of a novice Gomez is, and how much it's a put on for the camera. Given that she says herself that she loves cooking, she's just never known that much about it. But over the course of the series, you can see her understanding grow. Not just about what she's doing, but also why she's doing it. And her friends and grandparents definitely seem to appreciate the hints she's getting from professional chefs along the way. But the second thing that happens goes beyond just engagement with the narrative. It starts to make you feel less like a passive participant and more like an actual learner. Maybe you already know more than the person on the screen, or maybe you're at exactly their level and learning along with them. But the presence of someone who doesn't know what they're doing, who can't be termed an expert, provides an important part of the puzzle. It provides freedom to fail.
The 7th test of my robotics project.
Hello. I am
Wait, stop, scan, stop! Tadashi Hamada again. And this is the 33rd test of my robotics project.
Don't get me wrong. Nobody wants to fail. Failure sucks. But failure is a part of learning and growing, and it's a part that often gets neglected in instructional and educational programs. And it gets neglected for a very good reason. The point is to teach you to do the thing, right? The point is not to teach you to fail. But when someone on screen is capable of failing, even when somebody is there to show them the right way to do it, it sends a message that it might take time to pick up the skill, and that's all right. Ludo's first omelet probably wasn't perfect. In fact, Ludo gets so distracted teaching Gomez how to make eggs that he winds up burning his own omelet. The expert fails sometimes. So if the person on the screen can fail, then it's all right for us to do it too. And if they can laugh off their failure and then keep on moving, or if the expert can see their failure and step in to show them that you can work around it and still come out on top, then maybe we who are learning as well can shake it off and keep developing instead of taking our failure to heart and thinking that this is the end of it. It's a cliche, but it doesn't make it any less true. Try, fail, try again, fail again, but fail better. Interestingly enough, while this kind of depiction of less than expertise was not frequently seen in educational and instructional entertainment before, there are two places where it has absolutely thrived. The most recent has been in lockdown entertainment. The prospect of a global move to lock down for our own safety put many people in very uncertain positions. And that led a lot of people to explore the idea of pushing through failure. Some of that came in the form of traditionally educational programming like Selena and Chef, where we got to see people stuck at home in their real lives learning how to do something they didn't know before. But that willingness to embrace the frustrations of not knowing and the joys of learning anyway also found their way into scripted entertainment.
We need more haste, less speed.
Yes. What?
So we need more haste, less speed.
I don't think you're using that right.
Staged, created by Simon Evans and Finn Glenn, and written by Simon Evans, starred David Tennant and Michael Sheen, along with their real-life partners, all playing fictionalized versions of themselves as the two actors tried to rehearse through online teleconferencing for a production of 6 characters in search of an author. A play that is literally premised upon not knowing what to do, as the titular 6 characters have been left without a resolution for their drama after their first playwright abandoned the story in mid-script. Tennant and Sheen portray fictionalized versions of themselves, meaning that they are 2 people who know exactly what they're doing, or they would if everything was normal. But there is no normal anymore. And if there's no normal, then who can they turn to tell them what to do next? Aside from, Dame Judi Dench, because Dame Judi Dench can tell anyone what to do at any time. She's Dame Judi freaking Dench.
She thinks it's incredible.
What do you think? Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
Stop bleating, please.
Sorry. Hello?
I'll be with you in a second.
Joe says flowers, question mark.
Yes, that's fine.
Champagne.
That's fine. Oh, I hate this bloody machine. Why can't we go back to cups and strings?
The existential dread of not knowing how anything is going to work out plays out on screen as Sheen and Tennant come to terms with the fact that they don't know what they're doing anymore. They're seasoned actors of stage and screen, and yet every part of their craft and, consequently, their identity is slowly dissolving in the face of uncertainty. But they have to keep pushing on. That's pretty heady stuff. But there's also a lighter side.
Ooh, well, that's not good. Hey, Chip? Yeah, hey, I'm trying to upload my Muppets Now files, and the little spinning wheel's going around. Do you know what's causing the issue?
I heard you were having trouble with your uploads, so I'm installing a system-wide upgrade.
The Muppets returned to a variety format in mid-shutdown with the first season of Muppets Now, and their framing device was Scooter's and, honestly, everybody's struggles with technology as he tries to upload a new series to the internet for a waiting public. The Muppets have always been anarchic, but they tend to be experts at anarchy. Anarchy? What is anarchy? But they tend to be experts at anarchy. They are instruments of chaos, not victims of it. Except this time around, they're both.
This challenge is all about answering once and for all, okay, the ultimate question. What is it, Karina?
What's the meaning of life?
No. Eddie, baby?
How many leagues under the sea?
No, the question is, can you scream louder than this goat?
The lockdown has thrown everything out of step, and they're all trying to make it make sense when they don't know what they're doing anymore. And that adds a beautiful sensibility to that first season as the Muppets, the characters that multiple generations now have grown up watching gleefully engage in anarchy themselves, have to reinvent from scratch. Now, I said that the most recent segment of entertainment to embrace not knowing was lockdown entertainment, and when I look at what was happening, there's more than just a touchy-feely literary analysis reason for that. It's more than just the existential dread of coming face-to-face with a scenario you've only seen in apocalyptic movies in your lifetime. There's a technical reason, too. I love the backstage moments of Selena and Chef. Every episode starts with footage of her getting her kitchen ready to film in. And from time to time, we see bits of what would typically be off-camera work, like her producer over voice chat calling a break and then asking if her friends can take a moment to turn something on the counter around so that the shot will look better when they come back. It's a moment that really shows you what they were dealing with. Not just being the on-camera talent, but also having to manage cameras themselves, take direction from a disembodied voice, and do their own set dressing. That's right, the lockdown turned the entire entertainment industry into YouTubers.
See how I fell on my chunky part of my left?
Yeah.
Right. Watch your arms. You're also falling a little too far on your backs. Left.
Right, my tail.
For years now, YouTubers have embraced failure. They've embraced diving into something they don't know head first. Part of it is because frustration and anger at failure make for very funny online content, and funny content gets clicks. Maybe I should have kept in all the footage of the tripod falling over. But it's also a very relatable approach to learning something new. YouTubers don't have experts to come in and spend 6 to 9 months training them to do everything perfectly before stepping in front of the cameras. Not even channels like the Try Guys, who are arguably straddling the line dividing independent online content creators from mainstream television producers. So when you try something new, you have to sally forth with the minimum of preparation. You have to embrace the fact that you might fail, and you have to be ready to find some kind of enjoyment in it, even if that enjoyment is in throwing the biggest, funniest tantrum that you can. It's not about being perfect from the start. Hell, if you are perfect, that will be awesome. In fact, it will be the awesomest thing ever. And you'll party like it's raining birthday cakes. But you won't be perfect from the start, and that's okay. You can still have fun. There is a joy in not knowing, because then you get to learn. Exposure to too much perfection can make you start to think that it's easy for everyone else. And even if you're not inclined to fall into that kind of thinking, just watching someone easily accomplish a thing can cause the physiological reactions of accomplishing that thing yourself, making you feel like you don't need to try it now. You've gotten your hit of dopamine. You're satisfied. But a little bit of not knowing can be inspiring. It can show you that not everybody is succeeding around you while you struggle, and it can inspire you to get out of your seat and try it for yourself. You can embrace falling short of perfection. Just keep a fire extinguisher handy. Are you a dive in and damn the consequences person? Or are you an I'm not perfect so why bother trying person? And if you are the latter, what subjects did your school tell you that you were gifted in? Mine was English. Tell me your answer in the comments below, and while you're down there, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. In the description for this video, you'll find a link to my Patreon page where you can support this channel if you're in a position to do so. And if you're not, then know that I still love you and I'm happy you're here with me. You can also help the channel grow by sharing this video if you know someone who might be interested. Every little bit helps. If you want to see more of the Film Optimist, there's another video right here that's very interesting, or this one up here is one of my favorites. That's a good one. Until next time, keep on trying and watch like it means something.